Welcome. I have gathered you here today to discuss something that is probably only important or matters to me and like two other people, but it's a big thing. I am prepared to get a weird response to this, a mixed response, even from me internally. But I think that a lot of people have been feeling this way, so I don't really feel like I'm alone when I say this. But y'all, these TikTok makeup trends, they're not it. They really aren't. I think that we can all agree that people are starting to, at least this is what I'm noticing, um, people are starting to miss the makeup days where we weren't getting all of our makeup tips from like TikTok, and I can see why. I think the issue with getting makeup tips from TikTok is like TikTok makeup tips are always kind of for the sake of virality, so everything just doesn't feel real. It's so quick, it's so fast, and then also too, people just don't really, it's harder to build like a credible thing on TikTok, I guess. At least that's how I feel. So I kind of feel like for those reasons, a lot of people are starting to want to like move away from getting all their makeup tips and tricks and sticks from TikTok because there is that lack of authenticity, I guess, there for a lot of people. Like when everything is for the sake of virality, it's like how the hell are you supposed to take these tips seriously? I mean, the whole 10 pumps foundation thing was alone. But that's like I'm not here to talk about like people who do makeup on TikTok because
Whatever.
I don't give a shit. But oh, I did that. But like my thing is that we have this thing going on where makeup is so not exciting anymore, and I really do credit that to TikTok because I think here's the thing with TikTok, right? These makeup trends, they're trendy for like a couple months, and then the trend completely just dissipates as if it never even existed to begin with. And I think it's because people are just trying so hard to find makeup inspiring, but it's sort of hard. I mean, if you think about it, look at all those trends that are going on. Like, what's the like latest that I can think of is like the Turkish delight thing that people were all doing, and then also to the Monica Bellucci one. Everybody was like,
Oh, do your makeup like Monica Bellucci.
but like, it's a short fad. You get what I'm saying? It's a short fad. So it's hard to actually get excited and super inspired, at least I think, and invest in makeup again as we once were. Don't you hate when you put your hair behind your ears because you have to, but then it looks like absolute toe butt? And I say this because I actually really do see these trends dying out so quick, and I get it because it's just like a quick makeup look, and people are like,
Oh yeah, it's gonna look cool for like 1 second.
but 2016 era, that's another thing that the conversation kind of keeps coming back to the 2016 era of makeup because that was truly the best. 2016 makeup was not just a look. It was like a time period, it was like a lifestyle. You either were a 2016 girl makeup person or you just weren't. And that felt authentic, which is why I think it lasted for so long. You know, it was kind of like a lifestyle. I think I already said that. But it felt like a lifestyle, you know. People were very, very just into being super creative and super expressive, and you could be as heavy handed as you wanted with things or as neutral toned as you wanted. Like, there was so much that fit under the umbrella of 2016 makeup, where nowadays I don't really feel like that exists. People's makeup nowadays all looks the same with the current trends, right? The makeup trend that happened on TikTok that did last the longest was the clean girl makeup thing. And while I hated that time period, it's still kind of going on because very similarly to 2016 makeup, it wasn't just a makeup look, it was like a lifestyle. It's like it transcended just being a quick little trendy look, right? It transcended that. It was more than that. It was a lifestyle. It was like a more serious aesthetic. Like, it wasn't this super quick, like, 1-2 step and then done thing. Like, we had whole ass brands coming out because their whole vibe was clean girl. And what happened was it was so big that, like, 2016 brands kind of started to
Flop?
or I don't know if they flopped, but, like, compared to the clean girl makeup look brands. And then on top of that, with the TikTok makeup trends, I feel like there's no room for creativity. Like, wow. I've seen some people participate in that, like, Turkish Delight makeup trend, and I go to the comments, and instead of, like, people being just like,
Oh, this looks, this is good,
I see people being like, oh, you did that wrong. And it's like, this is the thing. With 2016 makeup, there was a lot more flexibility to take looks that were popular, that were trending, and to, like, make them your own. You got to, like, more so be yourself. Where nowadays, it's like everything has to be so by the book, and it's crazy. It's like, it's a fucking makeup look. Who cares if it looks exactly the way that you envisioned it? Honestly, I want to do something, like, super easy today because I'm just, like, not in the mood. Like, I'm not even gonna put on lashes, I don't think. And for blush, I want to do, like, a peachy vibe, so I don't know which one I want to use. This is, like, a...
Juicy Pink.
It's cute. It's, like, very liquidy. It's very dewy. It's very pretty. And then this is the Huda Beauty, the Peach Sorbet one. But, like, it's kind of matte, so...
I don't really know what's gonna happen.
But it's like with these new trends, it's like there's no room for creativity. There's no room to, like, alter a look to how you want to do it. People just want to be like,
No, it's supposed to.
like, follow these exact steps and follow these exact orders, and it's supposed to look exactly like this. And this is why I think that makeup is so boring now, because people are not allowed to experiment and just, like, do their own thing. Let's blend this out with my finger. This is my first time trying this shade from the Huda Beauty blushes. I know I'm really behind, but I like the strawberry cream one. The only thing is that it's kind of, like, too dark for me sometimes, so whenever I use that one, I, like, kind of have to, like, mix it in with something lighter. This one I didn't have to do this. I just, like, really didn't know which one I wanted to use, so I wanted to get the maximum peachiness, which means using maximum peachy blush products. But yeah, I don't know, this could be me, but I feel like back then people just kind of didn't really care if you sort of altered and tweaked and did things the way that you wanted to. It's like now makeup has become more of, like, a science rather than an art. That's how I feel. And there's no creativity, and it's pretty apparent. I mean, look at how quickly we move on from these trends. I mean, like, what are even some trends that I could even think of? Okay, remember the mob wife aesthetic? I kid you not, I maybe seen that poppin' for, like, a week, if that. A week, if that. Like, it barely lasted. And I mean, like...
Why would it?
But, like, I don't know, like, it's just a different time, and I feel like the makeup scene is just so boring, and it's like, if you even want to make, like, makeup content, it's like, you have to be so on top of all these ridiculous trends so quick because it's gonna go out of fashion in, like, 3 days. There's just, like, overall less personality and more let me just go viral. And I get it, like, there are some tips and tricks that I've learned from being on TikTok, but not really. Like, I feel like I'm not really learning anything new, and it's because it's just so quick. Like, in 3 seconds the video's over, so I'm not feeling like I'm getting anything, like, real. I'm not getting, like, real substance. And then on top of that, like, when things even do go viral on TikTok, I just did my brows, by the way, I just very lightly filled them in. I'm kind of like, I like that sort of light because I've got some
Harsh ass brows.
and so I feel like doing them a little bit lighter sort of softens my face, which I like. Everything just feels, like, majorly dishonest on TikTok. It's like, are you even promoting a product or doing a look because you actually like the product and because you like the look, or is it because it's just talked about? I feel like with YouTube, when we were, like, watching, like, YouTube makeup videos, it was sort of easier to tell and harder to lie. I mean, it was still easy to lie. People still did it all the time, clearly, but it was easier to spot if somebody was being disingenuous more so than it is on TikTok. At least that's how I feel, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. It's just weird now. It's like people are just constantly like chasing something new to be excited about. That's how I feel about like makeup trends on TikTok. It's like, oh, we're just trying to find something to be excited about. This like Turkish delight thing is kind of the longest lasting quick trend that I think I've seen, but it's gonna die down and something new is gonna take its place, and it's like they're all even not that like different from each other anyway. They're kind of more so the same, sort of, but you have everybody doing it the same way, and it's like, what is this? I don't even know if I'm making sense right now when I say that. It's just funny to me because I think like people really thought we were gonna get more like authenticity out of, makeup TikTokers, but like it kind of feels like the opposite. Like it feels like you couldn't really have this many scandals as like a makeup YouTuber. Like you could, but like I don't know, it feels like every single time, and I'm not shit talking her or anything, but it feels like every single time Michaela Nagara, don't know how to say her name to be honest, but like every time she just breathes, it's a scandal. It's like the biggest thing, and it's like, was it really that bad on YouTube? I don't know. I don't feel that way. It felt like it was very easy to have very influential and popular influencers who did manage to stay out of drama. But it feels like on TikTok, like, okay, like we have like Meredith, who I feel like she doesn't really like get into much, but like her whole thing, like, when she like said that she don't use them 10 pumps of foundation, which we all kind of, let's be honest, knew. If you didn't, you have a lot of trust in people. And actually that's super self-directed, because for the longest time I really did think that she was using all that shit on her face, and I was like, how? And then slowly but surely I had to come to a conclusion. I was like,
There's just no way.
but anyway, that's not what this is about. This is just about, I'm using my blushes on my like eyes just as like a transition thing, because it's the perfect like peachy, just like match my blush, because I don't really think a lot of eyeshadow palettes that I own anyway have like really like peachy colors, and I'm putting this one on to sort of get it to be like more matte, because I'm afraid if I just leave it at that like Korean one, oh, it's in my hair, that's great, if I just leave it at that Korean one, then it's gonna like crease, because it's more like dewy and watery textured, so that's why I mixed in the Huda one with that. I'm just blending it out with my finger, and when I put like powder shadow on top of it, I guess I'll try to like find something as close to being peachy as I possibly can. And I'm really gonna do something so chill and so simple on my eyes, because I'm just like not in the mood of doing anything too crazy, because
I got a lot of studying to do.
I'm super behind. I feel like I say that every time I make a video. I'm a horrible student. I like never study. It's a miracle I'm passing. Truly. That's called being a genius. But yeah, it feels like nowadays there's just no room for creativity, and it drives me nuts. It feels like if you want some sort of attention, which also that's what it feels like. It feels like everybody who like posts their makeup looks on TikTok, it feels so like just trying to grab attention, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, obviously we all want some level of attention, otherwise why would we be posting content? I mean, I'm doing that right now, but like on TikTok it feels so obvious, where like YouTube, it's kind of like people went into doing YouTube kind of like sort of feeling like nobody's gonna click these videos, so whatever attention that you did get felt very satisfying because you weren't expecting it, where on TikTok it kind of feels like everyone's just like, well, it's so easy, and everybody can do it, so like I'm gonna do it too. So then what do you get? You just get like really rapid trends of the next group of people just trying to go viral, even if it means telling you to do tips and tricks that are actually going to destroy your makeup. Again, the aspect of everything is for the sake of virality. People don't really have the best interest in actually giving you good makeup tips that is going to make your makeup look better. Where like on YouTube, you kind of had to actually like teach people how to do their makeup. Or people on TikTok, it's like a lot of times what are we doing? It's like either people are screaming in your face the entire video, which I can't stand because I get overstimulated easily as fuck. So like what do? We get people doing things that defy all logic to a level that no one can explain. Nobody can explain. And of course, I'm not saying that things that defy logic are not going to work. I mean, I defy logic too. Like, I don't set my face. I don't use setting powders. I never baked. But like, I'm talking like 10 pumps of foundation type of thing. And then these like looks that are just so
Fucking boring.
I guess for me, what I'm trying to say is I just don't really like the direction that the makeup world, the makeup scene kind of went into, because it doesn't feel like people are making content to actually help anybody with their makeup or teach anybody anything. It's just like, oh, let me pop off because I'm doing something crazy. And then as a result of that, you only get like 2 influencers who are like household names, and one of them people are always down the neck of. So I mean, like what was better, you know? At least with like the YouTubers, we felt like they really had to work for what they got. I mean, they had to be honest to some degree. They had to give us like really good recommendations for the people to keep coming back. It's like also too, like with YouTube, it takes a lot more effort. Jesus, why can't I take this out? Fighting for my life as usual. God damn it, give me 1 second. Of course, what I wanted was buried deep in the depths of my little lippy pouch, but I got it. You know when you have those like glitter palettes and then they get like dry and you can't like pick up anything? I am going to try something. I'm going to try to like put a little bit of like a sticky lip gloss on my finger and see if I can pick up product like that. I don't know if this is going to work.
Just trying.
But even in terms of makeup reviews, what do people always say? People are always complaining about makeup reviews on TikTok because it's just so easy to lie. Like, you put on a product for like 1 second and it's, I mean, I hope the product it looks good at least for 1 second. I don't really think that worked. Look at that peachy sunrise beautifulness. I love adding glitter. Just makes everything so much better. Okay, I actually really like love this. I just added a little bit more like of a paler glitter on there, but I think I want to just deepen up the crease just a smidgen.
Just a little bit.
But I don't really have like a dark orangey, or maybe I could finesse. Let's finesse. But all in all, I actually really like love TikTok. Like, I know that I'm like just sat here talking shit about like trends on TikTok, but like I do like that TikTok did make it easier and more like accessible for like new people in who wanted to break into like the makeup world. It made it easier for them to express their talents and their skills, because you know, YouTube is really not for everybody. It's very time consuming and you've got to sit there for like a long ass time, and sometimes people don't want to do that, and I get that. So I think it's awesome that this happened. I just think people are kind of, just like everything in life, people are starting to kind of be like, oh.
So
I realized that I just basically finished everything and realized I was not recording. But yeah, I used this Peri Para orangey gloss, and it is a little too dark for what I wanted, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to make it a little bit lighter, a little bit softer. Guys, I'm so mad. I really thought I was recording. That is part of the territory, I guess, and my stomach just rumbled. I'm throwing on some of this Peri Para gloss just to kind of help lighten it up. It's like a little bit like a lighter nudie peach color, so hopefully that takes care of all my problems. And yeah, I also I waterlined. I did brown, and then I put like a little bit up top just to kind of tie it together because it was looking a little naked up top, a little naked. I don't know if that really helped. I think it kind of did. That's good enough though. I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, let me know what your guys' favorite TikTok makeup trends and whatever else are, if you agree with what I'm saying, just in terms of the whole makeup scene on TikTok versus YouTube. Do you prefer watching videos on TikTok or YouTube that are makeup related? And yeah, that's kind of about it for now.